This is a story about a princess in the market of shadows, an African tale woven from forbidden lands, buried secrets, and the unexpected bloom of love. Long before the present moment, the kingdoms of Afuera and Okaru shared a lush and dangerous border of forests, rivers, and ancient ruins. Generations earlier, the two nations had fought brutally over the gold hidden beneath the Shadowlands. Thousands died before a treaty was forged, a sacred pact that forbade all crossing. To the public, the region was declared cursed by ancestral spirits. But beneath the superstition lay political truth. The gold mines were to remain untouched, their history buried with the dead trespassers, by oath would be imprisoned without negotiation. The king of Afuera had repeated this decree to his daughter since childhood, warning that the Shadowlands did not forgive his eldest. Princess Amara lived by those words, disciplined, radiant, and bound by honor. Her younger sister Zuri, wild and curious, treated rules as obstacles rather than boundaries. One morning before sunrise, Amara entered Zuri's chamber, only to find it empty. Blankets tossed aside, window open, and footprints leading toward the forbidden river. Hours later, a terrified scout returned with news that the Okaru guards had seized a young woman who matched Zuri's description. The weight of disaster crushed Amara's heart. Her sister was her responsibility, her weakness, her companion in a world of duty, and she already foresaw her father's reaction. Rage, war, sacrifice. She knew she could not let him learn the truth. She made her decision in a breath. She vowed to bring Zuri back herself. She stripped away her royal identity, trading silk gowns and fine jewelry for a clay-colored wrapper, worn sandals, a headscarf, and a woven basket of fruit. When she looked in the mirror, the princess was gone. A market girl stood in her place. Crossing the border felt like stepping into another world. Okaru was alive with towering stone arches, vibrant markets, fluttering fabrics, pounding drums, and scents of roasted plantain, pepper stew, and incense Amara had never blended in before. Every step felt exposed, every glance suspicious. But she forced herself into the rhythm of ordinary life, breathing like a villager, walking like a villager, lying like a villager, all so she could reach the dungeons beneath the Okaru palace and free her sister. In the market square, her disguise collided with danger. A young man in maroon robes trimmed with gold entered the plaza, commanding immediate respect. Prince Kian of Okaru, feared, disciplined, and striking, strode toward the center. When Amara tried to step aside, her basket brushed against his arm. His attention fell on her, sharp, curious, and for a moment he studied her in a way that unsettled the mask she wore. Something in her posture, her eyes, did not fit the life she pretended to live. Suspicion lingered in his gaze until urgent news pulled him away. He departed, but not without a final glance that suggested he would remember her. By sundown, Amara had memorized the guard's routes and slipped into the palace gardens. The underground cells smelled of cold metal and damp earth, a scent thick with despair. She called softly for her sister, her voice carried through the darkness until Zuri responded, bruised but alive. Gripping the bars, Amara forced herself to pick the lock with trembling fingers she never knew she possessed. Relief surged when the mechanism clicked open, but their escape was short-lived. A shadow rose behind her. Prince Kian stood at the entrance, sword drawn, his expression unreadable. He had known she was not a market girl. He studied the sisters, shaking, terrified, clinging to each other. And something within him shifted. His anger softened into something else. Instead of raising his blade, he sheathed it. In a decision he did not fully understand himself, he chose to help them. He led them through a secret tunnel known only to the Okaru royal bloodline. As they moved through darkness and torchlight, Amara sensed the reason behind his choice even before he spoke it. He had seen in her a courage capable of defying worlds for love, and something in him wanted to be part of that defiance. She felt warmth blooming through fear, a pull that neither of them had expected. At the river border, their hands lingered close, almost touching, almost surrendering to the spark growing between them. Zuri watched impatiently, amused despite her injuries, unable to ignore the unspoken connection swelling in the night air. The river glowed silver beneath the moonlight, reflecting the moment neither of them wanted to end. Kian promised they would meet again. Amara tried to argue that he did not even know who she truly was, but he insisted that he knew enough, knew the woman he would not forget. Their parting was too long, too soft, painfully dangerous. Amara finally guided Zuri across the river. Behind them, Kian watched,